Hello again, everybody. Our first lesson here today isn't really a lesson in the way that there's no new math that we're going to be teaching here today. Really, it's going to be just kind of going through this Google Doc here and kind of going through how to type an equation and how to graph on here the way I need you to do so I can grade it and provide feedback on it. So I just kind of wanted to go through this first assignment, so to speak, that I need you guys to type in and return it to me so I can make sure that you've got a handle on using the Insert Equation tab as well as how we're going to handle graphing. So this is a screenshot here of the first assignment. You'll be able to find a link to this exactly, click on instructions. It's right next to where this video is. Okay, so once you click on this sheet will open up. I hope it's coming through okay. We'll need you to scroll here and of course type your name. That's pretty self-explanatory. I think we all know how to do that. But down here where we have practice typing equations. Okay, so I'll be asking you to retype the following equation by selecting the Insert Equation tool. Where is the Insert Equation tool? It's right up here. You can see where my little pointer is. Click on Insert and you'll get this drop down here. Just go down and Equation. Okay. Once you get to the equation part, you get a little blue rectangle with a cursor blinking inside there. Okay, you will also get on the screen here. Let me walk around here and show you. Once you get the insert equation, you get right there. You get a few more drop-down choices that appear on your screen. And this is where we're going to find some of the places where we're going to put in like the square root sign, or maybe we can insert a fraction bar, or if we need to raise a variable to a power, this will allow us to raise it to the second power, the third power, what have you. And that's what I want us to practice on this one. You'll notice that down here, number 1, I want you to retype in that box exactly what it reads up there. So number 1 is 2x squared plus 3x minus 17 equals 0. Just want you to come down here and retype it exactly as it reads there. So what we want to do is we want to, again, insert an equation. Okay, there's our little blue box there with our cursor blinking, and then we're just going to type in, of course we know how to type in 2 and x. That's easy. But now we need to get that exponent in there, this exponent right here of 2. Well, how do we do that? We're going to come up to our menus up here. Right here when I click on this one, you see you have the fraction here. This is where you would click on to insert a fraction. This next one over, this is where you would insert a square root. Okay, so here if you want to insert a fraction is this one right here. Right here is a square root. We got some other things here. We got absolute value. We got parentheses. This here for my calculus class, you'll be needing some of this if we're typing that in. So you have a whole bunch of different types of math operators we can type in. When we're raising something to a power, we want this one right here. It looks like this if I were to blow that up to a bigger volume. That's what that one is there, x to the b. So click on that one. What you'll be able to do is you're still down there in the cursor. It doesn't look like a whole lot changed, but when you click that right arrow on your keyboard, you see how it raises your cursor up? So after we've clicked on this and then we click our right arrow, it'll raise our cursor up and we can type in our 2, and you see we've got our exponent. Click that right arrow again, and it drops us back to where we were to begin with, and we can finish typing the rest of our equation. Plus 3x minus 17 equals 0. Okay? So that's how that works there. Let's take a shot just at this first one here. If I were to type in 3y cubed, 3y, and then where do I go again? Right back up this menu, selection right here, that drop-down menu. Oh, I gotta do insert equation first. Okay, insert equation, I get my little blue box. So, well, I'm glad you got to see me make that mistake. Okay, so I start off with insert equation. Then I start typing 3y, then I'll go up to my little drop down, I'll pick that x to the b, do my right arrow on my keyboard, and that raises my cursor up to where I can type in, I'm raising it to the third power. Right arrow down again, or right arrow again, and it lifts my cursor down. Subtract, and I'll let you type in the rest of it, minus 17y squared plus 2y, etc. Okay. Where I want to go next is to the lower half of the screen here, and we'll look at graphing. Okay, how are we going to graph on a Google Doc? So, well, I have put this together for us here. So when I need you to graph, it'll basically be like this. The grid will be on there. You'll have a couple points you may have to move over. This one in particular asks you to plot the 2 points, these 2 coordinates, 1, 4 and 3, 8. Okay? We're to plot those on the graph and move that line over so it goes through both points. So we go down to here. If we click on that picture, you see it'll highlight a little bit, but also this little menu will come down here. We click on edit. That'll open up that whole box to where we could move our first point over to the coordinates 1, 4. Okay. And we'll move this second point over to our second point of 3, 8, which would be right here. Okay. And now we have to move this line over and adjust it so it goes through both points. Okay. And I think right there, that's probably pretty good right there. So there we go. That's how we'll handle graphing now using Google Docs. Okay, so we won't have to, it won't require you to print off anything, take a picture of it, or scan it over. I figured this might be easier for all of us if we were just able to do it on a Google Doc and submit it through Google Classroom. Let's try one more here where it's a little more involved. We're not dealing with a line. We'll be dealing, in this case, with a parabola, which is something we'll be dealing with going forward. It wants us to plot the points 0, 6, 4, 6, and 2, 2. Okay? So we'll plot those on our grid, and then we will move our graph of the parabola provided over and adjust it so it goes through all 3 of those points. So again, we'll click on our grid. It highlights that whole section. It also gives us this menu. Down here, we'll click on edit, and that opens the whole thing up. So I'll need to move this first point over to 0, 6, which is right here. Move my second point over to 4, 6, which is right there. And I'll finally move this one to 2, 2, which is right there. And now I take my shape, my parabola here, and I need to move that over. Obviously, there's some adjustments I'm going to need to do. So let's bring this right side over, bring that left side over. Pretty close there. Oh, now I'm moving the whole thing. I think you get the gist of it here. But there we go. Okay, so there we go. I got a parabola going through those 3 points. So we would close that off and we would submit this assignment. So do go through there, practice typing the equations, doing the graphs, plotting those points, adjusting the curve, adjusting the line to make your graphs look good. Okay, and then when you're done there, submit it. I will take a look at it and make sure that everybody knows how to do this. So I want you to start with this one because this is what we're going to be using to submit homework the rest of the way through. So if you have any questions on this, please shoot me an email. I will help you out. Otherwise, I will see you with the next lesson.